carefully promoted as a legitimate Chinese copy, SpongeBob in China.
Oh, right there. That's what I saw. That's the SpongeBob I saw when I went to China. It looked just like this. Yo, what up guys, Kelvin here. Today we're gonna be looking at hilarious ripoff of the most popular cartoons. So back in maybe 10 years ago, I went to China, right? And I was just there for vacation and I saw a ripoff of a SpongeBob cartoon in China. You know, the SpongeBob does not look anything like the SpongeBob in America, okay? China SpongeBob had a mustache, kind of looked like a catfish, okay? And also like a Chinese hat. I mean, it was pretty popular back then when I went to China. I don't know if they will show it in this video or not. It is just really funny when you see like an American cartoon got ripped off into a Chinese cartoon or something like that, you know. But anyways, hope you guys can get this video early thumbs up. Really help out the channel. And yeah, let's get right in with the show.
They say imitation is the highest form of flattery. So I'm sure that animation studios are always very flattered when people blatantly rip off their original content and create terrible versions of art that they spend untold hours writing and then animating. I can really only imagine just how honored they felt by the following 10 ripoffs. Amazing! Number 10. The Amazing World of Gumball.
Oh, I love
Writing
that
and
one.
trying to come up with jokes is pretty hard. I should know because I'm trying to do both of those things right now. Creating original characters who have their own unique look and personality is also pretty hard. Here in America, if you try and get around how hard these things are by copying someone too closely, so closely that a teacher would definitely catch you, you will get sued so hard you'll be back to buying the $1 loaves of bread that dissolve in your mouth.
Wow.
But in China, where things are a teensy bit looser, you can largely just ignore copyright law, and thus Miracle Star was born. I mean, just look at it. They swapped out cats for goats.
They look exactly the same except for the color of their skin. I mean, look at that. The character, and then, oh my goodness, this is just blindly copycat.
And your typical American suburban house for a big, commie, blockish Chinese apartment building. And that's just about it. It's such an obvious ripoff that Cartoon Network actually made an episode called The Copycats, about the main characters discovering a family that imitates them. Number 9. Gravity Falls. Meanwhile, in another country that doesn't have the strictest of copyright laws, Russia, we have this pretty blatant ripoff of Gravity Falls. You can tell just from watching the intro that it's basically the same thing. The story follows a young boy drawn in a very familiar-looking but noticeably less fluid animation style, who is sent off to a rural village way out in the woods, not to spend time with Uncle Stan, but so that he can learn the Tartar language. And, obviously, so that he can have paranormal adventures, as you can tell by his wacky interaction with this Groot-looking guy. You've also got this chick, who is obviously Maybach.
Yes, these two, they also look way too similar. If I saw a cartoon like that in Russia, man, I don't know what to think. You know, if I moved to Russia and saw something like that, man, I know it'll be a ripoff. I will not even watch it.
Just look at the sweater. I'm pretty concerned about what exactly is going on in this scene, though. I would not get into a motorcycle sidecar with that man. Possibly Russia has more lax standards on what can and can't be in children's cartoons. Number 8. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Even the Mutant Ninja
has been around
Turtles?
for so long that they have a lot more than just one ripoff. Take, for instance, Kung Fu Dino Posse, which even kept the reptile and Asian fighting style in the very title.
You know this is from China when it says Kung Fu Dino, okay? Only the Asian Chinese people know Kung Fu. I can't believe they did it into a dinosaur. What if they don't? Why? I thought they would do something like a panda or something, you know, because panda is like a Chinese national animal, kind of like America is an eagle, China is a panda. You know, if they do like a Kung Fu Panda, oh, that's a movie. So it would have been cool too, you know?
It really is just the same thing. This bunch of young reptiles fights crime with the power of martial arts in the city. You've also got the slightly more creatively named The Adventure of T-Rex. Less creative, though, is their animal choice. Whereas Kung Fu Dino Posse at least had a whole posse of different kinds of dinosaurs, The Adventures of T-Rex is straight T-Rexes, as you may have guessed. It's about a group of reptile brothers who fight crime at night, and each have their own special color. Does this remind you of anything? The fact that you've probably never even heard of either of these shows really goes to show that nothing can replace the original Turtles.
Yeah, when I was living in China about like 5 years old, I actually saw Kung Fu Dino because it was pretty popular in my region. And I gotta admit, I was pretty hooked to it because it was really interesting. Okay, it's just bringing back memories.
Maybe it really is the irony of the fact that turtles in real life are slow and don't know martial arts that really makes TMNT stand out from the imposters. Number 7. Scooby-Doo. Do you enjoy shows that feature a gang of teenagers and their talking dogs solving mysteries, but are just sick and tired of watching Scooby-Doo? Luckily for you, there's another show that just so happens to fit this exact description. Goober and the Ghost Chasers. That's not entirely fair, however, as there are actually some major differences. For starters, Goober can turn invisible, making him way more powerful than Scooby. But the real thematic difference is that a lot of the time, the ghosts they catch do actually turn out to be real ghosts. So if you think about it, the Ghost Chasers are way more powerful than the Mystery Gang, since they're dealing with real paranormal events and not just weirdos in costumes. They also drive a weird military-looking vehicle with 6 wheels instead of a groovy van. Could this mean that they represent the pro-Vietnam establishment of the 70s, and Scooby-Doo represents the hippies? I mean, probably not. What's also strange is that Goober and the Ghost Chasers isn't exactly a ripoff, since it was actually made by the same company as Scooby-Doo. Is it possible to rip off yourself? I'm really not even sure. Number 6.
That's interesting. I will actually watch the Goobers, you know. It looked pretty interesting. I mean, just look at the tank and then the van. Which one would you want to watch? The tank or the van? Of course, I would like to watch the tank. Probably gonna be more action-packed.
The Fairly Odd Parents. A show about a kid who gets a magic being that will grant them wishes, but every episode their wish goes wrong and they have to fix it on their own. I've just described the Fairly Odd Parents, but I've also just described the British-Canadian-Australian show Pixel Pinky. In Pixel Pinky, the main character Nina gets a phone on her birthday that contains a digital genie that for some reason grants her wishes. Also, like Fairly Odd Parents, it must be kept a secret. There's no explanation for why this happens though. To the credit of the Fairly Odd Parents, there's a whole lore explaining why Timmy got the fairies. This chick Nina just gets a genie for free. She didn't even have to suffer like Timmy did. Like most of these rip-off shows, you can tell that Pixel Pinky didn't have the same budget that Nickelodeon could afford to give the Fairly Odd Parents. Even one of the characters on Pixel Pinky, a guy named Coolest Luke, voiced by Nick Storr, who was also the sound designer and audio
I just sneezed. Somebody please bless me in the comments.
engineer. I'm not exactly an insider in the world of animation, but I'm pretty sure that's not normal. You kind of have to respect the hustle though. Number 5. Rocket Power. Honestly, who even needs rocket power? That late 90s, early 2000s show about kids doing extreme sports, which is pretty much all anyone was thinking about during that time period. Who needs it when in 2012, we got Wild Grinders? You probably think it's the same thing because it's a show about a bunch of kids doing extreme sports.
He can look like a Mario. You know the Mario Brothers? The Mario brother have the hat and then the overalls and then the... You know, that's why he reminded me of.
Actually the same thing as rocket power. Well, take a closer look. Notice anything? That's right. The Wild Grinders, which I assume is what the main characters refer to themselves as, don't wear helmets except that one nerd-looking guy with the glasses. The characters on Rocket Power are pansies who want to protect their skulls because they're not really down with the whole hardcore extreme sports life. Wild Grinders might be a total ripoff, but they aren't afraid to die. Number 4. South Park. Ever wish that there was a show that had South Park's art style except slightly worse, and instead of being made in America, it was made in Kuwait? Block 13 is definitely the show for your bizarre taste.
Block 13?
As you can clearly see, it is literally the exact same art style as South Park. But maybe that can sort of be forgiven because South Park itself is pretty much the same art style as a kid playing on a felt board, right? Well, the similarities don't stop there. Just look at this group of kids right here.
It look exactly the same. This guy is probably this guy right here. This guy is this guy, and this is the Asian guy, I guess. Yeah, they look way too similar. I mean, if they did something like that in America, expect a lawsuit.
Seem a little familiar? We've obviously got Kuwait and Cartman, wearing a traditional takia instead of a beanie. Then next to him we have Kuwaiti Stan, I think, although I'm not sure why he doesn't get a hat. Then there's who I'm going to say is Cal, because his hat looks more similar to Cal's. The kid with the keffiyeh covering his face is obviously Kenny. They even ripped off the joke of Kenny being inexplicably killed in every episode. Does Block 13 also contain very topical satire of current events? I'm not sure, because I don't speak Arabic, and there are no subtitled versions anywhere on the internet. Number 3. Adventure Time. China's take on Adventure Time has given us the vague ripoff that is the Legend of Lucky Pie. The opening image alone should make you very skeptical, since it features the protagonist raising up his arm on top of a mountain toward the title of the show. I wonder where they could have gotten that cool idea. The animation style is pretty similar as well, and you can see that the protagonist has those classic Adventure Time noodle limbs.
Yeah, I mean, first thing first, I don't know what the heck are they thinking. Why would they draw the head shape like that? I mean, this head shape is way cuter. I mean, the overall cartoon style is way more pleasant to the eye, you know. But this one, man, it looked like a 5-year-old kid drew it, and this one looked like a more like a adult kid that drew this cartoon right here. Okay, this one, man, I would not approve it.
as well as a backpack and very square head, just like Finn. Instead of Jake the dog, he's got his talking horse, so at least that's different, although it may be worth mentioning that Adventure Time has that as well. Apparently there's no hard feelings between the two shows, as Adventure Time storyboard artist Steve Wolfhand called The Legend of Lucky Pie cute on Twitter. Turkey also has their very own Adventure Time ripoff, called Ibby, featuring the noodle-armed backpack-wearing protagonist named Ibby and her animal companion, a turtle. Instead of a big whimsical treehouse, she's got a big whimsical turtle house. In terms of actual story though, unlike The Legend of Lucky Pie, it's pretty different from Adventure Time. Ibby is about teaching kids how to do math and stuff. There are still adventures, but they're just excuses to get kids to learn about numbers, kind of like Cyber Chase. So I guess that's pretty different, although the style and character design is definitely ripped off.
Yeah,
Number
it's
2,
exactly the
The
same.
Simpsons. There are dozens of different
No
dubs
way.
of The Simpsons that air all over the world in all kinds of languages. But Georgia couldn't just be a normal country and do that. Oh no. Georgia just had to go ahead and create their very own ripoff of The Simpsons, the Samsonauts. Here's what the creator had to say in
What
justification of
in
this
the
three-dimensional
world?
bizarre take on the iconic show.
I want to say it straight. This is not The Simpsons, this is a Samsonadzes. This is all about a Georgian family with Georgian jokes, Georgian plot, with Georgian developments, and with Georgian social humour. And I will be proud if anyone will compare these series with The Simpsons, though we are no match for it, of course.
In a way, it's actually kind of respectable that he straight up admits that the whole thing is a ripoff. Not that he really has a choice, because, I mean, come on, just look at it. Everyone can tell anyway. And he's definitely not wrong about the show dealing with Georgian themes. One episode features a shape-shifting Vladimir Putin, presumably something that the average Georgian has to worry about occasionally, while it quickly became the second most watched show in Georgia. Apparently, not everyone was into it. Maybe Georgian fans have just become jaded way faster than American fans of The Simpsons did. Number 1. SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, here we go.
SpongeBob SquarePants, one of, if not the most popular cartoon of all time.
It
With its
is.
reputation being what it is, you just know that a ripoff was bound to happen at some point. And in 2006, the world got that ripoff, with Coconut Fred's Fruit Salad Island. You can
What
pretty
the
much
heck?
tell just from the intro what's going on. A tropical theme, even if it's on land rather than underwater, and a cheery yet still widely despised protagonist. Coconut Fred is kind of like an unholy fusion of SpongeBob and the annoying orange. If
Oh.
that sounds like something you would rather not have exist, you're not alone.
Yeah, if this show came to America, I would not watch it. I mean, who's cuter? Just by looking at it, SpongeBob or Coconut Fred? I mean, definitely SpongeBob. Okay, just look at the eyes. This eye look like a zombie, and look at the teeth. Definitely need some braces or something, you know, man. And they wearing some. Oh man, this is terrible.
The show was, like Coconut Fred on his island of fruit salad, not popular. So not popular that it only lasted 13 episodes before getting canceled.
I hate this channel.
The voice of Coconut Fred, Rob Paulson, has even said that it was nothing more than a shameless SpongeBob SquarePants knockoff, and that he didn't even like thinking about the show. And as a bonus, it's worth mentioning the 2012 YouTube classic that some people have wrongfully promoted as a legitimate Chinese copy, SpongeBob in China.
Oh, right there. That's what I saw. That's the SpongeBob I saw when I went to China. It looked just like this.
It's kind of racist, kind of clever, and more of a parody than a ripoff. And
Oh,
may
it's a
just be
parody.
the most iconic piece of SpongeBob-related internet
Right there, right there. SpongeBob with the squinky eyes. Oh my god. I can't believe I can't believe they made this in China. Holy crap.
memery. If you haven't checked it out, you should.
But yeah, that is the end of the video. We gotta look at some comments, okay? But it was definitely very, very interesting. I really loved it. It was so fun to watch. Okay, let's see what the comment says. Who used to always think the very odd parents were actually called the very odd parents? Wait, what? I don't get this part. Very odd parents, that's what they called, you know? Ripoff of South Park have been called North Park. Oh, I know what you did there. I see what you did there. That is pretty smart. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Copy my homework. Just change it so it doesn't look like you copied. K. Adult Ninja Mutant Turtles. The guy in the back. I think he said this. The guy in the back. Children Gamer Normal Turtles. That's a pretty cool name. But yeah guys, that is the end of the video. Did you guys enjoy it? I really enjoyed it. Hope you guys did the same. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notification, and my social media link is in the description below. And yeah, my name is Kelvin. I'll see you guys next video.